To get a monster to cooperate for a shoot, an expert pulled out a dried-up arm. But instead of being scared, the little Kappa smelled something familiar. It was his father's severed right hand.
父ちゃん。本当だよ。父ちゃんの腕だよ。
The expert tried to take it back, but the Kappa refused to let go, overwhelmed with emotion. He wanted to reveal the truth from hundreds of years ago in front of the whole country. 400 years ago, during the Edo period, Kappas lived peacefully in a marsh, but the local samurai planned to fill it in. Little Kappa's father begged him not to destroy their home, but the drunk samurai didn't care whether they lived or died. He reached for his sword to kill him. Little Kappa quickly brought a big fish, hoping his father could give it to the samurai to calm their anger. But that only made the samurai think there were more Kappas hiding nearby. The two of them nervously looked around. Just then, a carp jumped out of the water. In a panic, the samurai drew his sword and cut off Little Kappa's father's arm. Just as they were about to kill Little Kappa, an earthquake struck. The samurai was buried on the spot. Little Kappa kept calling for his father, then was swallowed by a crack in the ground. 400 years passed. Little Kappa had become a fossil. A boy picked him up on his way home from school. He washed the dust off the fossil with water. The next moment, Little Kappa miraculously came back to life. Koichi examined him carefully and realized this was the monster called a Kappa, written about in books. A rare species not seen in 100 years. Koichi's father was instantly curious, but his mother and sister insisted on throwing Little Kappa out.
殺さねで。殺さねで。助けて。
The newly awakened Little Kappa was very weak, but pouring water onto the dish on his head would slowly restore his energy. Seeing how pitiful he looked, his mother decided to let him stay for a while. They looked up the marsh online and learned that Little Kappa came from the Edo period, hundreds of years ago. Koichi wanted to hear interesting stories about ancient times and mimicked the way a samurai drew his sword. But that made Little Kappa remember the scene of his father being killed. Hearing the reason, Koichi quickly told him there were no more samurai now and told him to stay at ease. With Koichi's careful care, Little Kappa's health improved, and he became part of the family. Then one day, Little Kappa knelt down and bowed in thanks. He said he was going to the Dragon God Marsh to find his friends. The whole family tried to stop him. Koichi told him the outside world had changed beyond recognition. The next day, he put Little Kappa in his backpack and rode his bike to show him the city. Through the gaps, Little Kappa saw many things he couldn't understand. The marsh where he once lived had been filled in, and tall buildings stood on top of it. There was no sign of any other Kappas anywhere in the city. Little Kappa returned home deeply disappointed. Then one night, he discovered that the family's dog was also a monster.